throw everything you thought you knew into the trash, because it's all worthless. It's all trash. You watch anime. You grow up with all that stuff. What are you used to? Booby? Maybe? I want to do with those guys and flopping up and down? Well, none of that to be talked about today. What about teamwork? Friendship? Well, all that, also trash. You can purge all that stuff out of your brain right the heck now. Everything you thought you knew, everything you thought you understood, all the positive lessons that you thought you've learned, get rid of them. But I can't possibly mean every lesson you thought you learned, right? Surely we're gonna have lessons like picking yourself up when you fail. No, if you fail, you're out. Okay, so we're obviously following an overpowered main character, right? You know, above and beyond. Dude's never gonna fail. We get to watch him be a badass, right? If these thoughts went through your head until this point, my friend, you're not made of the right stuff. And quite frankly, you probably don't have the stomach for the most demonic sports anime shonen I have ever seen in my entire life. You're not ready for a story that delves so far into your own ego and how much you value yourself as a person and disregard everyone else to get to the top. You don't have the balls for an anime video like this. Talking about a show where every character has a Griffith arc. You're not ready for the insanity of Blue Lock. あの時の俺はもういらない。勝ちたい。生まれ変わるのは今だ。俺はストライカーだ。Y'all should definitely subscribe if you want more Blue Lock stuff, and let me know in the comments, because quite frankly, this video is going to be covering the overarching themes, the analysis, and the overarching badassery of what we're going to be talking about in this bitch, okay? To get you up to speed, since I know a lot of people don't watch sports anime due to the fact that, well, they are sports anime. I could watch epic wizards with their harems. Why am I watching a dude play with other people's balls? But in Blue Lock, ball fondling has never been this straight. It's a soccer anime, and I'm sorry Europeans or whatever that are gonna hate me for not saying football. I'm gonna say soccer the whole video. Yeah, get used to it. The story begins as follows. You have this dude who's kind of good at soccer, all right? Like, he's kind of good. His team's kind of not good, but he is kind of good, and he passes, and the team, you know, screws it up, and they lose the tournament, and life sucks for him. Anyway, he gets recruited to Blue Lock, an organization where they take basically all the top up-and-coming soccer players in Japan, they put them together, and they are going to create the ultimate striker. They want to create a superhuman, but not through drugs, but through psychological torture and manipulation. I feel like the best way I can actually explain something like this to people that haven't delved into Blue Lock is the hunter exam, except there's no do-overs, and only one person could succeed in the entire camp. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention? They introduced this camp with 300 people. Yeah, I know, it sounds crazy, right? There are 300 people in this camp. Only one of them will be able to succeed and become the top striker in Japan. The rest of them, well, they can never pursue professional soccer again. They're literally signing a waiver saying that. And everyone's thinking, all right, well, why the hell would I do something like this? I could just leave and I'm great at soccer. I'm one of the top players and I'll just, you know, get recruited. I don't need to sign my life away, or at least that's what you think. Almost everyone actually does sign and does join. And you're probably wondering why. Literally all of them, statistically speaking, only have a 1 in 300 chance that they're actually going to be able to become, you know, the top striker or whatever. 299 people's dreams crushed instantly. Oh well, time to become an accountant. I hear McDonald's has some great turnout for people to cook there. The beauty of Blue Lock is they're psychologically manipulated to think that a striker can't have fear, can't have doubts, has to have this unbridled ego where they believe in themselves to the absolute utmost. And that is what every striker needs to do. Everyone needs to believe they're the best to become the best that they can. So by turning away from this, you are admitting to yourself that you're not the best and you're setting up your life for failure instantly. Every single person there needs to not only be the best striker, but needs to believe they're the best striker to become the best striker. Now, a lot of this is actually rooted in legitimate psychology, and it makes a lot of sense. Truly believing in something with all your heart manifests that into legitimate reality. So I do believe this program will produce the top will produce the top striker in Japan, but it's gonna be standing on the 299 people whose dreams you personally crushed. It's like, I'm imagining whoever wins this blue lock thingo and becomes the one person that can actually become a striker stands upon the pile of corpses and dreams of all of their companion that they worked with until this point, because they are literally doing exactly that. Now, Blue Lock loves twists. I would not be surprised if at some point at the end, it's like, okay, you are now the best striker of all time. Psych! To the other 299 people! We tricked you guys. You can still play. We just wanted that guy to hone his skills and become the best, and the only way to do that was to really believe what he was doing, and don't worry, guys. Like, I would not be surprised if Blue Lock pulled an Uno reverse card like that at the end. It seems like the thing to do. Ultimately, it doesn't need to be the case that the other 299's dreams are crushed. It's just the top one guy needs to believe they're crushed. However, from the perspective of the story we're giving and everything we're led to believe, these people's dreams are getting crushed, and it's because of you. Every time you advance, one person failed. They've dedicated years of their life, sweat, tears, training, dreams. Everything is on the line for them to become this one thing. It's taken away from them by you, the person that succeeded and surpassed them. It's a story so twisted that when a character does manage to get someone else kicked out, they feel a pride in that because that's what they were trying to do all along. And then they have to start reassess what they were going through. They're like, yo, I could put myself in that guy's shoes so easily. It was a buzzer beater of a game, and I just barely managed to win. I eked out a victory by the skin of my teeth. And not only do you have to live with yourself that you're crushing these dreams, but you have to relish the idea and the concept that these dreams were crushed. It is a mind-numbingly scary experience rooted in the concept of only caring about yourself. The guy that's training all them, he calls himself Ego. The point of this entire anime is becoming the epitome of ego. There is no reason why you actually have to be a good guy. You are a weapon, and there's no reason why anyone should care to make you, you know, a genuinely nice person or to grow as a person. When all forms of growth, well, that just delegitimizes you as the weapon that they're trying to build. The story keeps getting crazier. You have a concept where they match people into teams, and the only way for you to beat another team is for you to work well as a team, right? So you think. However, here's the wild part. Whoever is the team's top scorer manages to succeed and move on to the future round, and everyone else fails too. So all of a sudden, not only do you have to work as a team to defeat the opposing team, but you also are working against your own team. In case your team loses, you need to be the top scorer. So all of a sudden, you're playing mind games against your enemies and mind games against your allies. When do you actually want to try and throw on purpose? But if you're the top scorer, you get to move on to potentially a future team because, you know, all these other teams that actually passed the first round, well, they're going to be better than the team that you're stuck with right now. You have all sorts of betrayals. You have backstab. You have bamboozles and flimflams. You have this one dude on the team actually makes a deal with an opposing team to get 3 goals, and then he flips sides. The dude literally goes to the other side, so it's a 12-on-10, letting them win, and now that he has 3 goals, he'll proceed to the next round, and the rest of the people he worked with until now, well, you know, just screw him. Doesn't matter to him. Ultimately, all that matters is that he believes that he is the greatest ever and that he can survive and thrive walking on the corpses of his former comrades. Blue Lock is a camp of psychological torture where everyone not only needs to be skilled but needs to be motivated and also needs to be cruel. Only a being of unbridled ego as well as skill can actually defeat his opponent and not have his own soul tarnished so that he could defeat his next opponent. You have some sort of event where you have to work with your teammates to the best of your ability and everyone learning about each other, learning each other's motives and each other's strengths and weaknesses, and they're working together. They form a bond. All their focus is on winning that very one match. That one match right there. But then that match is over, and suddenly they are turned against each other because only one can remain. Every type of soccer game, every type of challenge, every type of tournament, every type of event that's meant to weed people out isn't just done in like a typical anime power scaling kind of shiz. And they make that extremely clear. In the main characters group in the beginning, it's 12 members, and they immediately say, okay, out of the 12 of you, you gotta get rid of one of you. So they play some sort of tag with a soccer ball where they're kicking the soccer ball at each other. Whoever gets hit, it becomes it, and whoever's it when the time runs out, well, that dude gets booted. And the main character, whose close friend is the best striker in the room, ends up using that friendship to get that guy out because he is also his prime competition. He's his best friend, yes, but ultimately only one can survive. This is a little bit of a psychological trauma that goes on in literally episode 1, and the anime does not take its foot off the gas even for a second. You literally have to throw away everything you think and you know about morality or story structure when you watch this. It's a psychological torture game dressed as a shonen anime. Every soccer game isn't a Star Wars lightsaber fight where the stronger Jedi wins. Every soccer game is a political Game of Thrones character assassination, where obviously the skills are what carries you to the next level, but it's the psychological mind games that really elevates this story and makes every battlefield feel like more of a political thriller than even an action thriller. As a simple example of that, you could have an episode where the entire episode is a single soccer game. It starts with the soccer game and it finishes and the soccer game is still going. 20 solid minutes of soccer. It's just people putting their feet on balls and rubbing them around. But if you actually pay attention, probably only about 5 minutes of those 20 is actual soccer. The rest of it is game plans and strategies and different perspectives and why different people want to betray others. Why they have a reason that they are willing to not only sacrifice everything and risk everything, but also sacrifice their own humanity by throwing their friends into the piranha pit to just get a little further in life. This is the most introspective shonen story I have ever seen in my entire life. Every single episode learns more about who they are, aside from just becoming stronger and better at soccer. And every time they're working so hard to win, and they finally have victory within their grasp. They finally managed to grab a fat W. The elation of that victory immediately gets cut short when they see the faces of those that fell before them. These are people with their own motivations. These are people with their own lives, and these are people with their own dreams, and these are people that will never be able to see these dreams to fruition. You did that. Now, not only do you have to live with what you've done, but you have to revel with what you've done. That can't just not be a hindrance to you. That actively needs to be your strength and feed your ego. Like every sports anime, Blue Lock is an anime about making friends. Haikyuu is about making friends. Kuroko no Basket is about making friends. Every sports anime is ultimately about friendship, and so is Blue Lock. Except Blue Lock is about how you create a friendship, the friendship gets incredibly strong, and then with your own 2 hands, you destroy your best friend. It's tragic and it's soul-crushing, and it's about people kicking balls. There is a lot of positive reinforcement and positive introspection that goes on that I think would be helpful for everyone. Everyone should believe that they are great, because everyone is great. Everyone is different, everyone has their own skill set, and everyone should believe that they deserve better. And believing that you are better will in turn make you better. It's a really powerful and positive philosophy that you could learn from Blue Lock. Blue Lock just takes it to extreme to destroy your humanity and make you a living weapon. What's crazy is it does make everyone better at soccer. Rapidly. It makes everyone so much better than they could have gotten themselves through their regular training regimens. Whoever does become the best striker, well, that person is gonna be head and shoulders better than he ever would have been if not for Blue Lock. Ultimately, Blue Lock is succeeding with the lessons that it's teaching. Not to say that I think the lesson is every viewer should try to pull a Griffith, you know, try to backstab their friends in order to succeed. I mean, I've been the friends in that analogy, and it really sucks. But I do think putting value in yourself and value in your worth is incredibly important. And that is a positive takeaway lesson from Blue Lock, despite it being an absolutely catastrophic psychological strategic thriller, and despite it being masked as a simple sports shonen. The truth of the matter is, Blue Lock should be called Blue Pilled, am I right? Bro, 4 episodes, a single soccer game? Holy moly, every time the episode ends, I have to wait another whole week? I'm Blue Pilled another whole freaking week to wait for the conclusion? And even that's not the conclusion? Dog, are you serious? Are you even joking me? Are you pulling my toe? Blue balled again. Oh my god. Anyway, thank you so much for watching a Blue Lock analysis. Hope you enjoyed. I've seen a lot of people talk about Blue Lock, and I respect everyone talking about the demonic nature of Blue Lock, and I do think that there is a demonic nature about it, and I might do a more in-depth video with full spoilers, because this one had 0 spoilers pretty much. So subscribe and leave a like for that fat video. God damn. Thank you all so much for watching. I did hope you enjoyed. Also, let me know if there are any specific characters you would like me to make an overpowered analysis on. But for now, I bid thee adieu. Subscribe, stay weird, fam.